But what about the ones of you who didn't go to the meetings? Well, I've asked two people who didn't go to any of the Wittenberg 2017 meetings, Jim MacDonald and Caroline Owens, to come up and give a brief. They've read the book. Would you recommend it? Come on up and say, would you recommend it for someone who didn't go to one of the meetings? Come on up too, Caroline.
Okay, so Thomas has framed this as kind of his story, and it is, and it's probably a quarter of the length I thought it would be. So you can be thankful for that. So why would you want to read the book if you weren't part of the whole thing? And I wasn't. I sort of got involved right at the end before they were going. And, in reading the book, and I think I'm on my third pass through it right now, it reminds me of a very familiar story where your father asks you that to fulfill his greatest wish, which is to organize this family reunion that he's always wanted. And you go, yeah, that'd be great to have your two brothers or your two other sons to come. That would be great. And then you start thinking about the last time any of them got together, and you're thinking this could be kind of tense. And you start thinking how you're going to do all this and how you're going to get the place to meet. And he's, I'll take care of that. Okay, well, how am I going to get these people so that I haven't talked to these people? I'll orchestrate that for you. And the last time we saw your oldest son was 700 years ago, And so it was a very familiar. I've seen people have to organize family reunions, and this is very much a family reunion story, and it's very near and dear to the Father's heart. And so from that point of view, that's a great story, and I expected literally a 500-page book of theology, which he and Amy are capable of writing, and it is a warm story that covers the same material in a way that I think you'll find very engaging.
Reading this book was a unique experience for me because I think there are many people in here who could say this, but I've known Thomas and Amy since the late 80s. And so reading the book, we walked through a lot of that with them, or we were at least in their sphere. And I remember they would tell us stuff, things that happened that were miraculous, that were God things, and we're just like, what? You talked to who? You went where? And it was just amazing seeing what the Lord was doing, going through it, in a chronological order. But looking at it now, reading the book now, and, remembering details that I'd forgotten or things that I didn't even know, it's a wonderful representation of, ordinary people doing God's will in the moment, and how God is there orchestrating the whole thing. And so if you're ever discouraged, sometimes I feel like I'm just making this up as I go along, trying to do God's will, but it was so encouraging to me to read that. And I'm just going to make a completely unsolicited remark. On the one hand, walking through this with Thomas and Amy, or at least observing, I thought, well, we're all just ordinary people, but on the other hand, I have never known people like Thomas and Amy Cogdell, and they are unmatched in their integrity and their humility and their passion for the Lord and their very unpretentious way of carrying that out. And I've seen it year after year after year, in the worst, in the best, and I will tell you, as someone who's known them very well for a very long time, I am not shocked that God used them in this way. I'm blessed, I'm grateful. On the one hand, I'm blown away, but I'm not shocked because the integrity of their hearts and their passion for the Lord is just, it's challenging. It challenges me regularly, so.
Caroline didn't go to any of the meetings, but she was there at every one because she was the key intercessor from day one through to the very end. Thank you, Caroline.